You don't need more clients. You need to stop bleeding the clients that you already have. Most service businesses don't have a lead problem. They have a retention problem. And they forget that the easiest sell is not the first one. It is actually the second one. So we're going to be talking about all about retaining your clients, upscaling, what can we do? And I'll see you inside. Okay, let's go. So every month, it is the same thing. It is the same problem. It is the same story. It's the same panic. We have a pipeline that actually dries up and you panic and it's normal, right? You start posting more and you're starting pitching more and you want to go to networking events and you want to do everything more and more and more. But that loop is exhausting because you are trying to go out of your comfort zone to get those leads, right? It actually makes you feel as if you're starting all over again from scratch. The truth is that if your only way to get new clients is to get new clients, then you don't have a growth problem. You have a hamster wheel problem, right? And I know it sounds weird, but imagine you are going in circles all the time. Every single month or every few months, you are doing that because that service has finished. The interesting thing about this whole thing is that most of those people that you have retained as clients, they don't actually fire you. They left, they quietly left, and they suddenly disappeared because the job ended. And why? Because maybe you didn't give them a reason or anything else for them to say yes, to continue with you, to work with you. I think that maybe you didn't make it easy for them to say yes. Maybe you said, well, if you need anything, let me know. That is not a strategy, to be honest. That is not a strategy that works for any business, not even the product business or or the service business. It doesn't work for any of us. So it is more about that is passive, that it's lazy, and that you're actually really, to be honest, you are losing money. You are leaving money on the table. Like like most people say when you're like, yeah, I mean, that could have been money that you would have had in your bank account. But you don't need a new service. You need a path. Retention isn't about doing more. It is about staying useful for the customer. Maybe they needed something. Maybe they need more time with you. So let me give you a few things that maybe you could consider. You could maybe continue what you already keep doing as a long term, right? Why not? You could actually shift or into phases into something that could be a long term, but in phases. So you make it slower. Doesn't mean that you're not going to deliver. Yes, you're going to deliver, but it's going to be in phases. So it has a stretch of time where you actually stretch that money that is coming into your business, right? So you could turn what you already have given them and turned it into a new reason that maybe they need your help and they maybe haven't realized. So they already trust you. And this is something that many services and many business owners don't realize. You already have the warmest lead that you could ever have. And they already trust in you, in your business, and in your service. And if you did your job right, it is your duty. It is your moral duty to actually ask them for an upsell. That upsell doesn't have to be more than the service that they already provided. The bottom line is that you haven't shown them where they can go next with you. Now, the smartest 1% do this very differently. And when I mean 1% is like 1% of services that are like top notch marketing savvy and business owners that are, very well known in the service industry. What do they actually do? The smartest people, what they do is that they don't reinvent everything every month. They layer on ways for people to actually stay. Let me give you an example. We have a business that we organize events, right? And our events are medical events or corporate or governmental, whatever. We provide that service. But besides the organizing of the events, which is a moment in time, right? You are organizing that event. It may take 5 years to organize, or 2 years to organize, depending on the kind of event that we're doing, or a yearly event. But we also provide management of their associations, meaning we handle the association for them. That is a long term business that we have in our system within our business, because that is our recurring revenue that we get every single month. So if you are organizing events or you're doing anything that is just a one off, I want you to think about what is the kind of thing that you can actually stretch as much as you can. And what I wanted to say about this example is that if you don't show them the other alternatives, they won't ask for it. They won't know that you actually offer those different kinds of services. Maybe you said that at the beginning when you pitched for the first time, but if you don't repeat that, they'll leave and they won't renew the contract with you or whatever service that you have. Depends on the model of business that you have, right? So, how can we actually flip what you need to make right now? The flip you need to make right now is to stop writing your call to actions to your strangers and potential clients. And I know I'm contradicting myself, but please bear with me. Okay. So we're going to stop doing the call to actions to now everything is going to be for that client that you already have, that client that it is there. They have already paid you. So that is going to be your calls to action. Now, that's the one that is going to be telling their friends in a way, right? Because you're going to tell them that you have an upskill, you have a service, or you have something extra that you're going to be telling them, and you're going to be working with them in a long term. That's how you're actually building that momentum without constantly starting over. Now, this is going to live with them as an upsell, and it's going to be live, and it's not going to be in the comments. It's going to be only with your warm clients. And this could look like something like a quarterly follow-up, because maybe you provided the service and you want a follow-up on how they're doing, if they need help, anything, right? I'm just giving you ideas and you can make them your own, right? You can actually offer a partial service of a service that you know that you provided that they probably need, and you don't have to give them the entire service all over again, but you just give them a small portion of what they can actually, continue with that service. You can do maybe a monthly planning sessions. You can do remote sessions on if you are into, interior designing, or if they need to fix certain things. If you're a stylist, you can do this long term, because maybe they don't need to be with you every single month, but you can provide a styling service that is maybe 4 times a year because of the seasons, the different seasons. So these are the way is to package it in a way that actually dips in and out and in and out into what they actually need, but you also know that you can actually provide that service. And you can also go even further, like you can do masterminds, where you can do premium services and VIP things and exclusive services for them, depending obviously of the kind of business that you give them. So there's so many things. Or you can do a WhatsApp group or anything. It doesn't matter. As long as you are providing that service and people are paying you, I think you're golden. Okay. It doesn't have to be fancy. And that is the important part, because they already know how you work. They have already been there. I told you, they're the warmest there will ever be. They're hot, hot, hot. So you don't have to go fancy about it. You can actually, it has to be just simply obvious. It's like a no brainer decision, because they already work with you. Now, to them, be, be aware, it needs to be a no brainer to them and to you. If you don't want to work with that client, just simply don't offer it and just keep your mouth shut, and that's it, and move on. But that is the whole point about doing upsells and having longer and stretching your money the more you can. Now, so no, you don't need to launch a new service. That is the bottom of this entire episode. You don't need to redo everything from scratch. You don't need a new service and a new launch, a new strategy, a new, well, you do need a strategy, sorry. Just need to build a second door so that people and clients that are already inside stay inside. Okay, guys, I'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye bye.